Coolpad, which remains one of the strongest brands in its home market of China, has been dabbling in the Indian market, and the newly launched Coolpad Note 3 might be its strongest effort ever. As we put this fingerprint scanner equipped handset through its paces, we'll analyze what makes the phone tick. Hi, this is Dhruv Bhutani, and here's the Fonearena review of the Coolpad Note 3. The design of the Coolpad Note 3 is familiar yet fresh. The phone tries to minimize bezels and keeps a large screen-to-body ratio. The front of the phone sports a large 5.5-inch display and has the usual camera and proximity sensor up top. At the bottom, you'll notice the three capacitive keys that correspond to home, back, and multitasking actions. A nice addition is the presence of a metal band around the phone that is slightly raised and prevents the screen from touching the surface if you place it down. Moving over to the side of the phone, you'll notice that the rear-facing edges gently curve over, making the handset very comfortable to hold. To the left side lies the volume rocker, while the right side of the phone sports a power button. The tactile feedback is satisfactory from the buttons, though we would have preferred a slightly more reassuring press. Nonetheless, they work as expected. Up at the top is the 3.5mm audio jack, while along the bottom edge of the phone lies the micro USB connector. Turn the phone around. Alongside the 13-megapixel camera module, there is an LED flash in addition of one more thing. There is a fingerprint scanner that is perhaps the highlight of the device. Nicely recessed inside a hollow to prevent inadvertent touches, the scanner is a truly top-notch module. From initial scans to logging into the phone, the scanner worked incredibly well, no matter the orientation at which you touched it. The handset measures 151 by 77 by 9.3 millimeters, which is fairly compact for a device with such a large screen. More than the size, we were impressed by the ergonomics and how comfortably the phone sits in the hand. At 155 grams, the handset isn't too heavy either. The Coolpad Note 3 is based on Android 5.1 with what the company calls Cool UI on board. The phone remains smooth for the most part. Yes, there are a few jitters here and there, but that's mostly only when you're using the multitasking feature that enables two apps to run side by side. The phone comes with a fingerprint scanner built into it that we pointed out earlier, and it behaves pretty much the same way that passcodes have on Android devices. You can either touch your finger to bring you back to the home screen or tap the power button to get you to the lock screen wherein you can enter the passcode. Talking about the home screen, it is a very simple affair akin to the iOS way of presenting applications. Instead of a two-level hierarchy for applications, the phone places all apps in a grid on the home screen itself. Let's talk about apps now. You'll find Facebook, Amazon, WhatsApp, WeChat, WPS Office, Explorer, Cool Service and Cool Store pre-installed here. Cool Service is nothing but a city-based listing of all the service outlets that the company has. The Cool Store application, on the other hand, is essentially a Coolpad branded app store that offers a curated list of recommended applications, but you'd be better served by using the Play Store instead. There's a few more nifty additions to the software. Drop down the notifications shade and you'll notice two shortcuts marked as C and multitasking respectively. The former activates an on-screen shortcut key that you can drag and place anywhere. It replicates most of the actions of the capacitive buttons while also offering shortcuts to take a screenshot or to switch the profile to mute. The multitasking shortcut, on the other hand, allows you to run two applications simultaneously on the phone. As you would expect, there is a bit of a slowdown on using this feature, but it is surprisingly effective and usable for basic social media apps. The commoditization of hardware is reaching critical mass, and it is very much true on the Coolpad Note 3. The phone is powered by a 1.3 GHz octa-core 64-bit MediaTek MT6753 processor with a Mali T720 MP2 GPU. Sure, it might not have the highest clock speed, but those 8 cores certainly keep everything running nice and smooth all the way around. Pair it up with a whopping 3 GB of RAM and you've got a device that is surprisingly robust, and especially so for the price it commands. Generally speaking, the performance remains slick throughout. Of course, the device is far from powerhouse, so you'll have to temper your expectations. Apps will take a split second longer than on a higher end device to launch, and you might not get as high a frame rate in games, but the key takeaway is that the software and the hardware have been optimized to the point that day-to-day performance is never hindered. And yes, you can still do a bit of gaming on this phone. The Coolpad Note 3 comes equipped with a 5.5-inch display with a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. This is an HD IPS panel and a very bright and vibrant one at that. The lack of a full HD panel is of course regrettable. Bright and vibrant, we found the color accuracy to be good. The phone remains visible outdoors due to the bright display on offer. The extra reflective surface of the display, on the other hand, plays truant with visibility in bright environs. The display, however, is able to mitigate this to a large degree. The Coolpad Note 3 has a 13 megapixel rear camera and a 5 megapixel front-facing shooter. In bright sunlight, the phone performed admirably. Images were well detailed and the colors were natural. Noise levels were in control just as you would expect. Dynamic range was a bit limited, and so images with vastly different bright and dark regions would end up with lost details in the shadow region. In low light, the f2.0 aperture meant that the camera managed to take in a fair amount of light. Images weren't very bright, but noise was controlled to the point that images appear clean unless you start pixel peaking. On-board connectivity on the phone includes 4G LTE, 3G HSPA+, Wi-Fi 802.11b GNN, Bluetooth 4.0 and GPS. In our testing, 4G seemed to work only on the first SIM. The phone ships with 16 GB of built-in storage, of which about 10.5 GB is available. It is possible to expand the storage via a microSD card as well as a USB OTG drive. The removable back cover of the phone is strictly for accessing the SIM card and the storage slots. The CELM battery is rated for 3000 mAh and we easily got a full day of usage out of it. In a standard test, we ran a video loop for about 8 hours before the phone gave us a low battery warning. Regular usage got us about 12 hours of very heavy usage. The Coolpad Note 3 enters a crowded market that has many great devices already competing with each other. We found that it managed to keep up with the competition by getting the basics right. The phone does all the essentials well by providing good battery life, decent build quality, and an above average camera. Yes, the display does have a lower resolution than some, but the quality of the display means that you can overlook that unless you are very particular about having the best display on offer. However, being competitive alone doesn't make a product stand out. In this regard, the built-in fingerprint scanner works exceptionally well. Extra RAM facilitates better multitasking. Both the features provide tangible improvement in usability over and above the competition, which makes us feel that the Coolpad Note 3 should be near the top of your list of devices to consider when buying a phone under Rs 10,000. If you have any questions about this video and about the device in question, please do let us know in the comments section. This was Dhruv Bhutani from Fonearena.com bringing you a video review of the Coolpad Note 3. Thanks for watching.